Hello. Okay, chaliye. Sorry, there was a mic issue. Let us start with the class. Hello, beta. Good morning. Okay, before rather than wasting your time, let us start with the current affair. Hello, everyone. Hope so everyone is good. Hope so you have enjoyed the session, enjoyed your Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now we are going to start with the session. That is one of the first article which we will start with is one of the dispute between India and Pakistan. That is Sir Creek. Now again Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, has said that ab kuch bhi ho jaye at this point. So Indian defense minister has stated that any aggressive action by Pakistan in Sir Creek area would be responded to firmly, highlighting the India readiness and vigilance. Now the point here is ki what is Sir Creek, why it is important, and why now currently like when there is already dispute which is going on between India and Pakistan, when situation is already cool beta Anu Yadav. Chaliye, when already there is such a disputed kind of always like from very starting, whenever we talk about India and Pakistan, there is only one kind of a dispute. Majority of the people, they only think कि भाई जो Pakistan occupied Kashmir है, this is the main concern between India and Pakistan. But this is not only the territory which is actually the main concern between both the countries. There is also a region which you will see here, that is a Sar Creek. This is also one of the region, and it is believed that when there was an attack which was done in Mumbai, that is Mumbai terrorist attack, at that time majority of the terrorists, it is said that they have entered to our territory from Arabian Sea via these creeks only. Now this is also a geographical aspect, what is creek and what is Sir Creek from IR perspective and from security perspective, and then what is the dispute and what is the significance of this area, why we are fighting on this area, why these two countries are actually having a dispute in this region is now what is more important. Now first of all, you should know where is Sir Creek is present. So you can see this is a Gujarat map. यहाँ पे when you zoom out this particular area of Gujarat in Arabian Sea, you will see this is the territory of this region is something seems like this. So इस तरीके से there is a narrow kind of a passage. Now what is creek? First of all let us understand that. तो ये जो एक तरीके से this is going, ये जो आपका होता है narrow opening, this is actually your creek. कि दो तरफ से there is a land and there is a water का intake, like ocean water is coming in this region. So this kind of a geography is known as creek, and here the creek which is present, that is known as a Sir Creek. Now when you will see the boundary of this region, when we see the territory of this region, you can see this is the green area. Green line is actually what is claimed by Pakistan. कि भाई like this is the Sar Creek region, and this green area Pakistan is saying is belongs to me. Now the red region is the region where you will say India is claiming that कि भाई this is a disputed territory and India has access of this Sar Creek यहाँ तक. So this is the major dispute between these two particular countries in this side, that is your Sar Creek. Now why there is a dispute? First of all, territory से ज़्यादा there is a concern कि भाई there are abundance of resources which are present in this region, because of which both the countries are fighting. Now what are the resources you will see? It is a very good ground for fishing. So fishing perspective said this ground is very important, that is why both the countries are fighting for this territory. And more than fishing, what is more important is hydrocarbon. So presence of oil and gases is also one of the major reason why both the countries are actually claiming this area, and this is also one of the territorial dispute between India and Pakistan, that is the region of Sir Creek. And this is also very crucial point from internal security point of view, as we have discussed earlier. When there was an attack held in Mumbai, that is in 2008, then terrorists have entered from this region only. That's why this is a very disputed or kind of a region which you will see. So Sir Creek is a 96-kilometer region. So it's a 96-kilometer estuary located in the uninhabited marshland along with the India-Pakistan border in Gujarat, and obviously it is touching or sharing border with Arabian Sea. And here you will see the run of Kachwala region, and here you will see the Sindh province of Pakistan. So these two are the particular regions or area which are sharing border with your Sar Creek. So this side it's your Arabian Sea, and this side you will see Run of Kutch and Sindh is the two major regions which is sharing border with this creek. Now here is also one more creek which is present here, which is majorly in Gujarat, that is your Kori Creek. So it's also important, you should also remember or you should also learn about the different kind of creek, the name of the different creeks which are present here. UPSC can ask you, when we move from this side to this side, which of the following creeks can come first, or which of the following creek comes like what is the chronology of the creek. So such questions can be asked in UPSC prelims perspective. That's why you should also learn about the other creeks which are actually present in Gujarat region and present near this particular territory. So this is the dispute, which is not a very new dispute, and this was actually started around 1914, and Britishers are one of the major reason or major responsible for this dispute as well, because they actually, जैसे they did with your Pakistan occupied Kashmir, जैसे they did with India Pakistan वाला region, वैसे ही they did same kind of a story in this region as well, because earlier कच्छ एंड सिंध वर टू प्रिंसली स्टेट, यानी कि दो ऐसे राज्य थे. So at that time Britishers were the one who was responsible, who left this territory like this. What is the historical aspect we will discuss, but currently which of the international organization is working here, and we have studied lot about that organization recently, that is your UNCLOS, United Nations Laws of Seas Convention or Convention of Laws of Seas. It is basically the major organization which is working here. So UNCLOS is having the territory over, UNCLOS is actually looking after the matter in this region and making sure कि भाई यहाँ वाले region में there is no such dispute which occurs between both the country. So if UPSC asks you, वैसे तो chances are almost nil that UPSC will ask you which of the following territory, which of the following organization is responsible for maintaining peace over here. ऐसा state services can ask you, but yes, UNCLOS is the particular authority, international organization which is working here to look after this matter between India and Pakistan. So this is the particular geography, basic location of your Sar Creek. Now what is the historical background? As we have discussed, this is not a newer matter which you will see. It actually started around year 1914, and same there was a two princely state, and after that in 2009, after 1914, Britishers have taken place or control of this region, and it becomes part of your British India. But majorly it was part of a two princely state, that is Kutch and your Sindh provinces. So you will see here कि it's a kind of a colonial agreement से ये सारा scene चला रहा है, colonial period से you can see the traces. So dispute traces back to 1914 when British government issued a resolution on the boundary between princely states of Kutch and Sindh province, and then it became the part of British India. After partition also, so earlier in 1914 only, this was actually instigated by Britishers. Then after partition, India and Pakistan का हमें जानते हैं कि they were like कि भाई this is the, they randomly actually draw a line and they said that this is the particular line which will going to divide between these two countries. So that's why we have saw a lot of dispute because of that particular boundary. But yes, India and Pakistan inherited unresolved this boundary issue, and this boundary issue was actually unresolved after your 1947 as well. But this matter again instigated in 1965 when there was a war between your India and Pakistan, and the war has actually instigated a lot at this point also in the Sar Creek region, that in 1968 a proper tribunal was formed by your United Nations UNCLOS, that is United Nations Laws of Seas, and after that 90% of the territory of Sar Creek was given to India. And obviously Pakistan was not happy after this the decision of the tribunal, but still we believe that yes, this region belongs to us, and United Nations Laws of Seas is also in our favor. But what happened, let us see in detail. So in 1965 India-Pakistan war, a major conflict has been taken over run of Kutch, and the tribunal in 1968 was formed and awarded 90% of the disputed territory to India. Yani ki it started in 1914. So there was a two princely state, Kutch region and your Sindh region, but British India have, after passing the resolution, they taken control of this princely state. So that means British India has taken that dispute wala, it was already a kind of a dispute between two provinces, but it was not that big which was actually made by the Britishers. And it is not even 1914 से, ये बहुत पहले से ही ये dispute आपका चला आ रहा है. But we will, for us this much story is important. Now partition के बाद भी this region was unresolved, this territorial dispute was unresolved. Then in 1965 it again instigated because there was a dispute between India and Pakistan in the Kutch region, and then after that finally in 1968 a tribunal was formed and 90% of the disputed area was given to India, because of which Pakistan was not happy, and this is the reason why still we are fighting on this side of the territory, that is Sir Creek. ठीक है, this is the particularly disputed region. So here in बड़े में you can understand कि this green line is the area which is actually claimed by Pakistan, and this is the particular red line is the area which is actually claimed by India, and this is the disputed region of your Pakistan. So green wala portion here you can see is the Pakistan territory, and your white portion is the Indian territory. And here you can clearly see कि भाई जो आप गुजरात की बात करते हैं, when we draw a Gujarat map we draw a very clear boundary over here. It's not a clear boundary. When we zoom, so you can see this kind of a geography can be seen in this area, and lot of creeks are present here. That's why you should aware of all the creeks or major of the creeks which are present in this territory. Now what is the core issue? India claims the boundary line actually till here, and there is a principle which is working of United Nations, that is your Thalweg principle. And according to this Thalweg principle, India says that कि this territorial dispute जो कि already Pakistan नहीं मान रहा है, according to this Thalweg principle of international laws of sea and rivers, this region belongs to me. So that's why United Nations is also in favor of India, because according to Thalweg principle it is justifying that कि this territory actually belongs to India, but Pakistan तो Pakistan है. So Pakistan claims that नहीं, we don't believe that the western boundary is actually part of your Pakistan. This region is actually part of your Pakistan. But when we see from the legal terms, from the international organization rules and regulation point of view, actually according to rules and regulation this territory belongs to us. That's why we have a very strong claim on this side of the territory, that is actually the dispute between the two. Now hope so you have understood what is actually Sir Creek, what was a mota dispute, or what is mota dispute between both the particular countries. Now the border forces which are actually present here, you can see they are BSF is the particular organization which is present here, and this is the kind of patrolling they are doing on the borders of your India and Pakistan in the Sar Creek region. So these are the kind of BSF is present which is protecting the borders of Sar Creek. Now why it is important, as we have already discussed, because this is very important from maritime security perspective, surveillance perspective, because this was the territory or this is the region from where we face the terrorist attack, where terrorists have moved into our country. That's why this is a very important place from our security maritime concern perspective. Plus Pakistan is not a friendly neighbor, so we need a very kind of a strong surveillance in this region as well. Now the second region is that this is one of the largest, Asia's largest fishing ground, and majority of our Indian coastal region people are dependent on fishing activities only. So that is the concern. It is one of the Asia's largest fishing ground, supporting thousands of fishermen, and this is the second prominent region. And third prominent region is the presence of oil and gases and hydrocarbon. So these are the three particular reasons why we want to have a claim, or why we want this Sar Creek region. So this is actually the importance of this region. So hope so you have understood what is actually the article is all about. What is Sar Creek, what is Creek, what is Sar Creek, what is the dispute, and why we are fighting on this region, and what is the importance of this region, and which is the force which is working on this particular area. Now as we have saw in current affairs only, lot of Central Armed Police Forces are currently in news. So chances are very high that this year UPSC might ask question in prelims or mains both from or either of them from the Central Armed Police Forces, because BSF is also part of your Central Armed Police Forces. So this year chances are very high. Please do make sure you are aware of all the particular plus and minuses of the Central Armed Forces. How many armed forces are there, when it was formed, which is working under which particular individual, which is working under which ministry, which have their all the wings, like BSF had its different kind of wings also. जैसे कि air wing भी है, naval wing भी है. You can see the naval wing is working here. So you have to see all the if and buts of the CAPF forces. CIESF was also in news. So please make sure ki everything you are learning and everything you are aware of your Central Armed Police Forces, and this you will going to study in your internal security class. Now, second article, this is also one of the very positive step which has been taken by the government. Center is set to launch the Model Youth Gram Sabha. Now what is Model Youth Gram Sabha? So we also know that ki Gram Sabha means hota hai ki we are actually working on the local self governance, yani ki we are actually promoting the local people, we are actually making them aware of their rights. Now school students are the future of the country. ठीक है, so they should also be aware. अब now the government has decided कि why they should only read in the books कि भाई there is a Panchayati Raj system, there is a Gram Sabha. So government has came up with an initiative that is Model Youth Gram Sabha. Under this, the students of 9th to 12th class ka, they will now going to play a role model of your Gram Panchayat, Sarpanch, and different people who are actually involved, ward members. So different people who are involved in panchayat, the proper role play will be done under your funding of the central government. So center will going to give 20,000 extra rupees for these kind of skits and role model play which will be done in the school, and they will going to narrate, or they will going to create a whole drama which is related to your how your Panchayati Raj system or local self-governance work. So that's why this is one of the smart way to actually make students learn about the proper Panchayati Raj system of the country, which is very important because in future one should aware of all the particular system of the governance, and we say that governance is only fulfilled when it is reached to the lower of the people, lower section of the people or lower part of the society. So and we believe that when we see the chart ki bhai center hai, state hai, then panchayat hai, municipality hai, there are two different sessions. So we need कि भाई proper devolution of power should be there. That's why the particular pillars, who are the pillars for the future development, they should be aware about the local governance as well. So this is why, that's why this is one of the very positive initiative which you will see. So it's a school based initiative. So if UPSC asks you कि भाई Model Youth Gram Sabha is related to school, college, or what is the actually the section they are targeting on. So it's a school based particular initiative under which they are targeting 6 to 12 students. So that's why this is very important initiative which you will see. So it is a school based initiative that introduces democratic process of Gram Sabha into classroom across India, marking its first structured effort to involve students in grassroots governance. Now why this actually becomes important, because this is the first time such initiatives has been taken by a center level government or by the center to actually make students aware of such kind of particularly system of the government. Now what is the objective? That particular individual or particular student should actually learn about the Panchayati Raj system. They should get aware and inform about how the system is working, how the panchayat level is working, what are the problems they are facing. In short, they should get aware about all the particular functioning and problem part of the Panchayati Raj system. What is the budget system, how they are discussing on the budget, and what, like how they are going to prepare, how they are preparing the budget, how they are discussing the budget. That's why this is the main objective of this particular organization. Now number 2, which is actually asked by UPSC, which of the ministries are involved. So not only one ministry, but there are 2 ministries which are involved, which is supporting this initiative. Number 1 is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and number 2 is Ministry of Education and Tribal Affairs. So there are majorly 3 major ministries which are working for the development or for the initiative of this Model Youth Gram Sabha. 3 ministries are Panchayati Raj Ministry, second is your Education and Tribal Affairs. So if UPSC asks you, this is the initiative of only Ministry of Panchayati Raj, answer is no. It's an initiative of 3 major ministries, that is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So that's why this becomes very important. Now the second important thing, which of the following schools are involved? So we have studied in current affair only, there is a Eklavya model of school, and Eklavya model of school is for tribal people, specifically for the tribal oriented students. So that's why Eklavya school of model, the students which are involved under this, who are actually working on the one of the starting में pilot project के basis पे, who are the students which are involved? So the students of your Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya and Eklavya Model Residential School are basically are actually part of the first phase of this initiative. Later on, once it will be a successful initiative, more and more schools and more individuals or private or government schools will going to be involved under this particular initiative. But currently there are two particular major school chains will going to work with for this project is your Jawahar Navodaya School Vidyalaya and Eklavya Model Residential Schools. So that's why this becomes very important and one of the important statement which you will see. And each school will be given 20,000 rupees by the center government so that they can create or conduct the mock Gram Sabha. So that's why this is also one of the important thing. Achha, I said 6 to 12th, actually it's 9 to 12th, I'm so sorry. It's a particular initiative that is specifically for 9 to 12th kind of a student. So students of class 9 to 12th will going to role play Sarpanch, ward members, village secretary, Anganwadi workers, A&M workers, engineers, matlab they will going to role play ki bhai ha, I am the Sarpanch, you are the ward members, you are the Anganwadi worker, and they will going to learn the functioning of your Gram Sabha or basically the Panchayati Raj system, how it works at the village level. So this is actually the thing which you will see, and there will be competitions also, and the particular individual or the group or the section who will going to win, school students who will going to win the competition, they will get prizes from the government and school authorities as well. So this is what the initiative which is very important from examination point of view. If not asked in prelims, then yes, it is one of the best example to write in mains examination if they are asking you about how we can involve more and more people in the local self-governance. So this is one of the best example to explain, and you will going to get a good marks if you write about this initiative. Now the second, this is your mud volcano. ठीक है, and recently we have saw the in news कि भाई recently India का जो only active volcano which is present in Andaman Island, that is your Andaman and Nicobar region, that is a barren island, has erupted after lot of years. Same, this is the only India's mud volcano which have been recently erupted. So that's why this also becomes very important from examination point of view. So its location, what is mud volcano, what is the feature or what are the things or what are the components of mud volcano becomes important from examination point of view. Now this is a mud volcano which you will see it has been erupted in Andaman and Nicobar. So India's only, now if UPSC asks you, India has mud volcano present in Andaman, Lakshadweep and in some territorial region of, let's say, northeast. So answer is no. India has only one mud volcano and it is actually present in Andaman and Nicobar. So don't get confused with this statement. India's only mud volcano at Baratang in Andaman and Nicobar island has again erupted. So first of all, where is Baratang Island is actually becomes important from examination point of view, and secondary, what is actually your mud volcano. So here you will see this is the map of Andaman and Nicobar. Somewhere between Andaman and Nicobar, here it's an island which is known as Bartang Island which is present, and Bartang Island mein here you can see the location of your mud volcano. So this is basically here somewhere in the middle you will going to find your Bartang Island. So it is actually Andaman Nicobar. Iska zoom version you can see here, and यहाँ पे एक छोटू सा island है, you will see this is actually your Bartang Island, and this island is also important because here you will going to see this is also the home of one of the most kind of a PVGT kind of a tribe which is present, that is Jarawa tribe, which is believed that ki jo still they are actually believing their indigenous culture, they are still following their indigenous culture, and we as a people, we are not allowed to interfere in their ritual and different processes. That is your Jarawa tribe. So UPSC can ask you also things which is related from the tribes which are present here, and Bartang tribe is one of the home of your Jarawa tribes of this region, the indigenous tribe of this Bartang Island. So this also becomes important from examination point of view. Now Bartang Island, it is located in the Andaman region. I'm so sorry. Located in the north and middle Andaman district, and it is nearly 150 km from the Port Blair, that is the major area. You will see here Port Blair se yahan tak, that is on an average 150 km which you will see. So this is the particular location of your Bartang, and India's only mud volcano is present here and recently erupted. Last it was erupted in 2005. Then again we have saw it has been erupted because of the various seismic activities which are going on between under the particularly ocean, and this was also one of the reason why your barren island may your active volcano which is present in barren island has been erupted, and it is believed that one of the kind of a same reason could be one of the possible reason for eruption of mud volcano in the Bartang island as well. So this is also one of the major concern which you will see of basically organizations, and it is a concern for the near about people. Now it is a home of Jarawa tribe, one of the indigenous tribe of Andaman and Nicobar island, which we have already discussed. Now Andaman and Nicobar island is also an archipelago. What is archipelago? Group of island. Now you will see this region is actually Andaman region. Here you will see the Nicobar region. So basically there is a they are divided into two particular regions. Upper wala jo island hai, that is group of island known as Andaman Islands, and the niche wale group of islands hai, that is known as Nicobar Islands. That's why that is known as Andaman and Nicobar Island. Please, वैसे तो I know कि majority of you students are aware of this, but yes, there are some students who get confused कि भाई क्या scene है. Andaman upper region is basically Andaman and lower region is Nicobar. That's why it is known as Andaman and Nicobar, and it's a group of island that is known as archipelago. That is your Andaman and Nicobar. Now mud volcanoes, obviously यहाँ से ही you can understand कि a mud like structure is present here and they are erupting. Now they because mud is erupting, that means कि lava is not the one which is erupting. From the mud volcanoes, हालांकि it is a very lame kind of thing which I am explaining, but majority of the time when UPSC asks you this in a statement form ना, we get confused कि यार ये mud volcano है, so क्या ये खाली mud erupt करता है, it's a volcano, so क्या ये कभी कभी lava भी तो erupt नहीं करता. So there are very high chances कि we can mark it as a wrong, or according to the statement we get confused. So please make sure the from the mud volcanoes only mud will going to erupt. There is a no lena dena of basically your lava. So mud volcanoes are also known as mud domes. So if they ask you mud domes recently seen in news, related to what? So don't get confused. Mud volcanoes are also known as mud domes. So it is actually formed by the various mud silts, mud slurries, water, gases. What are the gases which are present? So majorly it is actually formed of because of the presence of methane. तो जब methane present होता है नीचे, this is also one of the reason why this mud eruption takes place. So if UPSC asks you in detail कि what are the gases which are present here, so methane is one of the gas which you will see. So it is formed by the eruption of mud slurries, water, gases involving series of geological process like your seismic activities, and it is a mixture of mud, water and gases. Gases may you will see methane and sometimes carbon dioxide is also accumulated. This is also the region when you will see the eruption of these volcanoes. Now present mixture of what? Mud, water and gases. Gases कौन सी? Methane, carbon dioxide or nitrogen. So these are the three main gases which you will see. That's why this becomes important from examination point of view. Geological formation where mixture of mud, water and gases. Gases may you will see what? Gases may we will see methane, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. So that's why this is also very important. Now erupts to the surface created like a structure like a lava, but actually it's not a lava, it's a proper mud which you will see it is spreading. Now what is the height? What could be the possible height or width of this? So it can go up to basically 1 to 2 meters of basically lies in a 1 to 2 meters of the area, or can go up to 700 meters, or it can go up to 1 or 2 meters to 10 kilometer wider region. So this is also kind of a geographical length and width which you can see of such volcanoes. Like wherever there is a such kind of volcanoes eruption takes place. So this is the kind of a distance the muds can travel. That's why this become important from examination point of view. So they can now the next question always arises, जैसे कि volcano में भी it's always asked कि क्या they are only present in the ground? नहीं, So volcanoes भी जिस तरीके से they are present on the ground and under the sea as well. So same kind of mud volcanoes are also present on the ground and under sea as well. So don't get confused. If UPSC asks you they are only present on the above the ground, answer is no. They are also present under the sea. So mud volcanoes also exist on the floor of the sea and can form islands and banks that alter the topography and shape of the coastline. So that's why this is very important कि ये केवल ज़मीन पर नहीं, ये आपके समुद्र के अंदर पे, समुद्र के तल पे भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं. Sometimes their eruption can create a small kind of a island, or if it is present on the coastal area of, let's say, any region, so eruption की वजह से they can actually change the topography of coastal, यानी कि इतना eruption भी हो सकता है कि एक छोटा सा area बन जाए. So that's why this is the importance of your mud volcano which you will see. So if UPSC asks you, it has capability to change the topography of the region as well. So answer is yes, because sometimes eruptions can form a small island as well, and it is present on the ground and sea as well. So this is the importance of your mud volcano which you will see in which you will see around us. And now this is not only the thing ki it is not dangerous, but yes, majority of the people when they go to Andaman region for just for a tourism perspective, they actually this mud island or the word mud volcano is actually one of the part of their itinerary. So this is also one of the tourist destinations of Andaman and Nicobar. So this is also what important feature of this region. Now this is the another important article which you will see, that is a dark star. Now when we talk about dark star, so chances are very high UPSC can ask you what is dark star recently seen in news. So let us study first. Astronomers recently unearthed evidence that some of the earliest luminous objects in the universe may be dark stars, stars powered not by nuclear fusion but by dark matter annihilation. So abhi astronomers they believe that ki shayad there are actually the presence of dark stars can be seen. Now what is dark star? It's just simple as that. This is kind of a star, one of the oldest series of stars which are present in universe, and it is believed that the size of stars is actually 1,000 times bigger than sun. So this is simply your dark star meaning. बहुत ज़्यादा complicated नहीं है. You should not complicate this particular article. This is a very simple kind of a thing which you will see. These are one of the most old kind of a star and which are actually double and triple, not double, triple, 100 and 1,000 times bigger than sun. These are basically the dark stars. So dark stars are the hypothetical object that may inherit in presence in the earlier universe, and it is actually one of the oldest stars. So dark stars might be the oldest stars in the history of universe and may represent one of the first evolution of your universe. Now these are giant, larger than sun or any other stars around, like whichever the stars which we say today. A single dark star could as much as 400 to approx to 2 lakh times wider than our sun and 500 to 1,000 times more massive. So it is believed that there is a presence of dark stars, or jiska jo one of the oldest series of stars which you will see, and it has a actually 2 lakh मतलब से भी ज़्यादा, x times से भी ज़्यादा, they are actually wider and bigger than your sun. So this is actually what the importance of this dark stars. So if UPSC asks you the dark stars recently seen in news related to what? So dark stars are the oldest series of basically stars which actually believe that it is present in universe, and the size is actually more and more bigger than sun. Now instead dark stars are likely a giant puffy clouds that shine extremely bright. Now whenever we draw stars, so on an average our drawing of stars is like this. कि भाई this is actually star, because it appears like that from ऊपर से जब हम देखते हैं तो it appears like this, but actually you also know that stars are not of this shape. But this dark stars, it is believed that it something's actually present something like this, कि भाई ये cloud shape में होता है. So if UPSC can ask you कि भाई it's actually can ask you about the size or structure of the giant dark star. So the structure of the dark star is actually giant puffy clouds that shine extremely bright. So this is a very important point which you will see. Giant puffy clouds and very extremely shiny, which is present in the universe. This is the importance of basically these dark stars which are present in your universe. Now the next article. Very good morning, beta Nandini. This is actually your NATO pipeline. So NATO is in news जब से Ukraine and Russia का war has been started. Now this is one of the article here. That's why this is one of the important article associated with this. That is a NATO pipeline. So it becomes important. Now what is the news? Recently the Polish government said that it will finally join the NATO pipeline system. Now what is this NATO pipeline system becomes important. I will not going to discuss what is NATO, because already we have discussed about what is NATO in one of the live sessions, but here we will only going to discuss about what is actually the NATO pipeline. Now all the NATO countries or the NATO countries are actually linked with a pipeline, so that in the during the war or in a extreme situation or during normal situations also, they can actually get a regular supply of gases and fuel. So that's why all the NATO countries, they have formed together, majorly the European countries, they have formed a pipeline system. This is actually what NATO pipeline is, and Polish has recently agreed that finally I will going to become part, or I will going to join this NATO pipeline system. So what is actually the facts which you will see? So from during the Cold War era, there is a supply of NATO forces or fuel. NATO actually used to supply fuel to this region. That's why to make the easier move of this fuel and basically gases, they have formed approximately 10,000 kilometer of a pipeline, and currently also it is used by the NATO countries through 12 NATO countries. So when it was formed during Cold War to supply NATO forces with the fuel, it was approximately 10,000 kilometer long, which runs around 12 NATO countries and which have a storage of about 4.1 million cubic meters. So this is actually the particular importance or fact which says about this particular pipeline which you will see. Now it has a capacity that it can give access to the military bases, civil airports में, pumping stations में भर सकता था, truck and railway loading stations, refinery and entry discharge points. So this was actually the capacity of such link of basically NATO pipeline. Who are the funding? Majority of the NATO companies are actually the bulk countries are basically the main funder of this NATO pipeline which you will see. Who is controlling this? So there is a particularly organization which has been formed, that is your Central Europe Pipeline System, which is actually looked after by Central Europe Pipeline System Program Office. So they are the one with the help of NATO. They are actually looking after the funding, and they are also actually looking after the system of your NATO pipeline. This is the simple thing which you will see. So there is a proper pipeline which is present, and to provide fuel services to the NATO countries. And yes, by seeing the war-like situation, earlier it was just a war between Russia, Ukraine and indirectly Russia and USA. But now you can see Russia dhire dhire is trying to extend this war to the other countries, NATO countries as well. So that's why they are working on all the particular aspects which were earlier present. So they are trying to make strong all the alternatives, so that if war started, then there is like during the time of emergency, there is not any lackness of any kind of fuel or any kind of weapons or services. So that is actually what NATO pipeline is all about. Now the next article. Stampede, we all know that this is one of the famous star of South India, and in his political rally, majority of the people died. Out of 41 people, I guess, they have died in the stampede. Now, what is stampede? We have already discussed in when there was a Mahakumbh stampede has been taken place. What are the different aspects of stampede, or what is the laws in government, or what are the different incidents of stampedes in India which has been taken place, and what are the acts and article which these stampedes are violating, and how the government is functioning. So that is a different article which we have discussed. But here we will not going to discuss about the stampede. Here we will going to discuss about the reason. What reason? A stampede at actor politician Vijay's rally in Karur, Tamil Nadu killed 41 people, including 9 children, and most death occurred due to compressive asphyxia. Now, what is compressive asphyxia? That is actually the main concern for us. What is this compressive asphyxia? If UPSC asks you कि भाई 2 to 3 statement related to this, then at least we should aware of the term कि what is this compressive basically asphyxia. Now अभी you can just understand with this, जैसे कि here is a image, here you can see a lady, it's like a kind of a structure, bed structure या कुछ भी आप कह सकते हैं. So अब she is actually searching let's say something here, और अचानक से this particular falls on her. Now because of the falling of this particular, अचानक से the pressure और अचानक से the weight has been increased in this region, so जो उसका diaphragm system है, तो पूरा लंग सिस्टम है वो क्या हो गया, इट हैज़ बीन प्रेस. सो फंक्शनिंग क्या होगी, उस तरीके से उसको सफोकेशन होगी बॉडी में, दैट मच ऑक्सीजन विल नॉट बी वेंट और उसका डायफ्राम सिस्टम विल नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क प्रॉपरली. That is actually the kind of situation where you will see the occur of compressive asphyxia. So compressive asphyxia is a type of mechanical asphyxiation where external pressure presses on the chest or abdomen. यानी कि अब stampede में भी which we see अचानक से भगदड़ मचती है. Let's say there is an individual, वो गिर गया, so उसके ऊपर 1 2 3 4 5 6 like 6 to 7 people they fall on that particular individual. So उसकी वजह से उसके chest पे and abdomen पे there is a pressure because of which the individual can't breathe. That is the condition where this your compressive asphyxia actually occurs, and this is one of the major reason in majority of the stampedes you will see when individual die. And yes, it is believed that majority of the people in this stampede also they have died out of this particular disease. So इसकी वजह से क्या होता है, it affects the lung and diaphragm system because of which there is a lack of oxygen और CO2 का formation बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है, जिसकी वजह से individual suffocates, and because of which in extreme cases actually individual dies as well. So body में there is a lack of oxygen which you will see which actually result to such kind of problem, that is compressive asphyxia. How it occurs, obviously simple crowd crush हो गया and there is a particular stampede has been taken place, 6 to 7 people have fallen to and one individual, which leads to such kind of a situation. What is the system? Lack of oxygen, lack of breathing, dizziness, nausea, or oxygen storage come hypoxia you can see, then hypercapnia, that means CO2 buildup has been taken place, and sometimes it also leads to organ failure. So but majority of the people they die in such stampedes, and what is the reason? That is compressive asphyxia. What is the treatment? One should give, first of all you should immediately lead to that individual to basically hospital. Second, CPR दे सकते हैं जितनी जल्दी, provide oxygen as soon as possible so that individual actually suffocate, जो उसकी suffocation है ज़्यादा उसकी body में oxygen पहुँचे. Make sure that कि आप थोड़ा सा area clean करें, give them a proper fresh and a clear area जहाँ से they can breathe. But majority one of the first option is actually best to visit your hospital. Removal of crushing forces or crowd, oxygen support, CPR, advanced airway system, hospital care, ventilation, treatment, organ functioning को properly look करना is the thing which you will see as one of the solution. Now, अब majority of the national highways when you will going to cross, you will see such QR scanners. ठीक है, might be जैसे I have entered, let's say majority of the time when I visit to my hometown, that is Banaras, so when we actually travel by road, so we actually start like there's a Yamuna expressway, then is a proper Lucknow expressway, so there's a proper 300-400 kilometers of a proper expressway has been built. So अब उसमें क्या होगा कि at the very starting of the expressway such kind of a board will be actually attached there, or the present will be there with this QR scan. Now what actually this QR scan is all about? So when I will going to scan this QR, I will get all the information about this particular highway or the expressway which has been created. Now you will say अभी इससे क्या benefit होगा? How you will, what we will do by knowing what is the actually how this particular area has been formed? It is actually, it will going to help us to understand कि भाई what is the structure. This particular QR will going to tell you कि भाई कितने kilometers पे, like after how much kilometers there is a washroom or restrooms are present, after how much kilometers there is a proper मतलब eateries are there, यानी कि food courts are there. So it will going to give you proper information where is the exit for such falana. Let's say when we go to Lucknow Expressway highway, so after every 100-200 kilometers there is an exit towards main kind of city of the city. So there is an Agra exit, then Etawah, and मतलब different exits are present. So it will also going to give you information about where after how much kilometer the exit of such thing can be, which city ka exit is there. So that's why this QRs will be present. Now these QRs will not only be present at the starting of the highways, it will also going to present in the food courts region also. It will also going to present in your restrooms area, so that individual can scan any time and have the access and idea about the whole particular process or the road ka where is entry, where is exit, and where the further food courts and where the further restrooms are present. So that's why this is actually one of the major thing which you will see. So NHAI has announced plans to install QR code enabled project information signboards across the highway, so that individual can learn about the digital information. That is actually what this initiative is all about. So digital information boards with embedded QR codes to give commuters instant access to highway related details. अब ये कहाँ कहाँ होगा? It will be installed at toll plaza, rest areas, truck laybys, start and end points, and wayside amenities. So this is actually the areas where these things are involved. This QR is actually involved, so that individual can have the access about your have access of such QRs, which you will see. Now you will see a lot of work has been done for the highway region. Proper dormitory has been created for your truck drivers. Now under your PM e-drive system, proper electronically generated trucks has been created, so that individual truck drivers can have a good access of basically the trucks. Then toll workers kids के लिए a proper schooling system has been included, so that their students can go for the higher studies. So lot of things have been done for the highway and the highway related people. So that's why this article also becomes important from examination point of view. So what is one of the prominent way or reason why this thing has been done? Basically to improve transparency of the particular system. कि भाई we want a very proper kind of a governance system. We want you should be aware of all the things. भाई ऐसा है तो schemes में लगा दो. There should be a QR scan of information about all the schemes and memorandum of understanding which we are signing with different countries as well. कि भाई इतना पैसा हमने USA से लिया, so you should mention, there should be a QR which tells about where that money goes, where our income tax which we are paying, वो उसका QR स्कैन करके we should aware of कि भाई इतना इतना पैसा कहाँ कहाँ लगाया गया है. So if you actually, I believe that if you actually want transparency in the system, then you should also install a QR code for such information कि where is actually all the money which we are paying as a tax, which we are getting as an assistance or grant or loan from different countries, what is actually the हिसाब किताब of that money. So that is actually according to me more important कि उसका QR होना ज़्यादा important है. But ठीक है, this is also one of the positive initiative which you will see. So to improve transparency in highway, to empower commuters the real-time information about the location and about the toll gates and about all the amenities which are present, and obviously to strengthen the road safety, because more of the people, yes, highways are also prone to majority of the accident, but yes, that's a different aspect, so that we can get an information ki kisse kitna pass hospital hai. So such information we will also get from this. Plus we will also have the access of emergency number, that is basically 133, if I'm not wrong, 1033. So promoting basically prominent mention of the emergency helpline, that is 1033. So all this is actually the information which is related to your information which will be mentioned under this QR. Now this is also one of the important article. Recently RSS ka there is a proper 100th year they have been celebrated. And to commemorate that 100th year, a proper 100 rupee ka sikka, 100 rupees coin has been actually released by the government, which is actually having the picture of your Bharat Mata with RSS leaders. So this year RSS becomes important, who is the founding member of RSS. So everything detail mein we'll discuss about, or you will get in your current affair booklet, which we actually provide you at a free of cost at our IAS Origin website. So you can also have access of that particular weekly current affair file in 2 to 3 days. So there also it is actually mentioned in detail what is actually RSS and founding. But here what is actually more important is कि on your 100th RSS ka day pe to commemorate the celebration, so PM Modi unveiled 100 rupees coin to celebrate the RSS centenary, marking the first time Bharat Mata appeared on Indian currency. RSS was founded in 1925 in Nagpur by Keshav Baliram Hedgewar. The RSS has grown into world's largest volunteer organization. This is also one of the important thing. And RSS plays a very important role in the current government. That's why RSS ke leaders become very important from examination point of view. So when you will going to visit, when 2 to 3 days you will get the PDF on the website. When you will go and see about that particular PDF, there is a whole detail of all the individual who are involved in the making of RSS and who are the prominent leaders, what actually the work they have been done by these RSS leaders. Everything is mentioned in that booklet. Please go and check that on website in 2 to 3 days. But yes, first time Bharat Mata on the 100 rupees coin has been actually present to mark the 100th year of RSS. So this is also, अब ये भी समझ आ गया कि 100 रुपए का coin भी आप कुछ time बाद we will have the excess of 100 rupees coin. Now this is also one of the important article, small article, but yes, not that important, directly important for us. But yes, if you also give state examination, this becomes important, and from mains ke examination example point of view, so this is also one of the important article which you will see. So she is Sanya Takaichi. Sane, whatever her name is, how I don't know how Japanese pronunciated, but Sane or Sane Takaichi is actually, she is ready to become Japan's first. That's why it is also become, that's why it becomes important. See, she is the first female prime minister of Japan who will going to become, like, I guess she have already taken the oath, or she will take oath in few days. So but yes, what is important that she will going to become she will going to become the first Japanese women prime minister, and she is from your Liberal Democratic Party. So that's why this also becomes very important for us as an example in mains. But we are, if I am giving UPSC, let's say prelims ka examination, so chances are 80 to 90% that they can ask you who is the first Japanese women prime minister in the system. So that is actually basically Sanae Takaichi. So this is actually why this is kind of a one-liner which is important from examination point of view. You can use it an example of women empowerment or one of the example. Japan being one of the advanced country, Japan being one of the most automotive countries, still you can see when we talk about women in the political participation, the number, this is the actually thing which shows that we are not only lacking in the women participation, higher participation in the political system, but Japan and other countries are also lacking in such system. So this is the article which you will see. Okay, that's all for today. Hope so you have enjoyed the session. Hope so the session was useful. Wayside kajal amenities mean जैसे food courts, washrooms, these are basically the wayside amenities. ठीक है काजल? So these are basically the wayside amenities which you will see on the highways. कभी आप जाओगे तो you will see ना, there are small dhabas. वैसे तो अब when you go to expressway, major expressway, dhabas are not present, but there are specific food courts and washrooms which are present. So these are basically the wayside amenities which you will see around this region. Okay, so that's all for the today. Hope so you have enjoyed this session. We'll meet again tomorrow with more and more important articles. That's all for today. All the best.